The truth has set me free. I am Ron Killings.
When you think of R-Truth, what pops into your head first? Maybe it's Little Jimmy, maybe it's him getting confused about which match he's supposed to be in, or maybe it's that legendary ladder fail at the Royal Rumble. If that's all you know about Ron Killings, then WWE pulled off one of the greatest magic tricks in wrestling history. They made you completely forget that this dude is a legit world champion, a history-making pioneer, and one of the most naturally gifted entertainers to ever lace up a pair of boots. R-Truth never got the respect he deserved because WWE spent over 15 years making everyone forget how genuinely talented he was. And you know what? It worked so damn well that even hardcore wrestling fans don't realize what they've been watching all these years. Today we're gonna break down exactly why this man deserved way better treatment and how WWE's handling of him shows everything that's broken about how they judge talent. Let's start with the big one, because this is the part that'll blow your mind if you're a new wrestling fan. Ron Killings wasn't some comedy jobber who got lucky. This man was already a proven world champion before half the current WWE roster even existed. August 7th, 2002, TNA Wrestling, Ron the Truth Killings beats Ken Shamrock to become NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Now before you go, yeah, but that's just TNA, pump the brakes. That wasn't some ordinary throwaway belt or a 2-week transitional reign. Killings became the first ever African American NWA World Heavyweight Champion in the belt's 54-year history. We're talking about shattering a barrier that's been standing since 1948. His first run lasted 105 days, and he wasn't just keeping the belt warm either. He was out there defending the title against absolute legends, guys like Scott Hall and Mr. Perfect. They weren't just your average wishy-washy title matches. This was a guy straight up carrying TNA as their breakout main event star. Then he goes on to win it again. May 19th, 2004, two-time NWA World Champion, throwing multiple tag titles and being one of TNA's foundational guys, and you've got a resume that most wrestlers would sell their souls for. But here's where things get insulting. When WWE brought him back in 2008, they acted like absolutely none of this happened. AJ Styles shows up and immediately gets WWE Championship programs. CM Punk gets treated like the star he was, but Truth, oh hey, didn't you used to rap? Let's just do that again. They literally erased his credibility from day one. Look, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend R-Truth wasn't hilarious. The man had comedic timing that would make SNL writers jealous. But here's what's messed up. WWE took a legitimate world champion and decided his ceiling was just getting laughs. Stop and think about how backwards that is. You've got a dude who proved he could carry an entire wrestling company as their top guy, and your brilliant creative idea is, let's have him chat with invisible kids. That's not using talent, that's wasting it. Don't get me wrong, the Little Jimmy stuff was comedy gold. The 24/7 championship segments were pure entertainment. Truth showing up with the ladder at the Royal Rumble thinking it was Money in the Bank. That's wrestling comedy Hall of Fame material. But every single hilarious moment came at the cost of anyone ever taking him seriously ever again. WWE created this weird situation where R-Truth was one of the most over performers while simultaneously being someone who could never matter in anything important. He's pulling in millions of social media views, moving merch like hotcakes, getting organic crowd pops that most wrestlers would murder for, but because it was funny, somehow it didn't count as real success. That's the box WWE built around him. Be entertaining, but only in ways that keep you far away from anything that actually matters.
I'm a married man. I'm a married man.
You want to see what R-Truth was really capable of when WWE actually gave a damn? Just look at his 2011 heel run. This wasn't just switching from good guy to bad guy. This was a complete character transformation that showed everything wrestling fans always suspected about what he could really do. The conspiracy theory gimmick was legitimately scary. This wasn't boo the bad guy because he's mean heel work. This was psychological warfare, genuine anger, and a character who felt like he might actually snap at any moment. When Truth started going off on the fans, calling everyone out for holding him back, creating this paranoid alternate reality, dude, that was some of the best character work WWE had seen in years. And the proof is in the numbers. Truth headlined 5 pay-per-views during this run, including going one-on-one with John Cena for the WWE title. When he teamed up with The Miz as Awesome Truth, they were main eventing Madison Square Garden against John Cena and a returning Rock. You don't stumble into that level by accident. Here's something crazy. Wrestling journalists have pointed out that Truth's conspiracy character actually came before CM Punk's famous pipe bomb. Think about that for just 1 second. Truth was out there doing reality-based meta character work before it became the blueprint for WWE's next era. But then WWE made the decision that absolutely killed everything. Instead of letting this character breathe and develop, they turned his legit fan criticism into Little Jimmy comedy bits. A violation of the wellness policy gave them the perfect excuse to end the push, and they never ever went back to serious Truth again. That choice right there tells you everything about how they saw him. They had magic happening and decided to put it back in the box. This is where the disrespect gets really obvious. Check the actual numbers versus how they were booking him. While WWE was treating Truth like a comedy sideshow, he was consistently putting up engagement numbers that would make main eventers jealous. His 24/7 championship stuff was doing 15 to 20 million views per week during the hot periods. These weren't just the most watched clips on Raw and SmackDown, they were going toe to toe with segments featuring their biggest stars. Forbes magazine was writing about the business side of what Truth was doing with that belt. The merch game tells the same story. His childhood hero John Cena gear was flying off the shelves.
Bally! Ow! What's up?
Truth is in the worst possible place he could be. Oh no!
When he got tangled up with the Judgment Day, their shirts were outselling established main event guys. We're talking about someone who could move products like a top guy, while getting booked like he should be grateful to be there.
You didn't mean it when you said you didn't like me. I saw it in your eyes.
It's quite similar to the Karrion Kross situation. WWE had a guy who could create mainstream buzz, make content go viral, and connect with every type of fan, and they acted like he was doing them a favor by just showing up. That's not smart business, that's being completely blind to what's right in front of you. Truth kept proving over and over that he could deliver when given anything to work with. Remember his tag run with Kofi Kingston? Those two had natural chemistry and could make magic with anyone on the roster, but instead of building real storylines around them, WWE just let them exist until they didn't anymore. And if you want to know the real test of how good R-Truth actually was, just ask the people who worked with him. When news broke about his 2025 release, the locker room reaction was instant and told you everything. The Wrestling Observer reported complete shock and disbelief from the roster. Top guys were calling it total nonsense. Big E's response said what everyone backstage already knew. No one made me laugh backstage more than Ron. I've known this man for 13 years. He treated me like a brother from the very first day. Never saw him in a bad mood. That's not just being nice about a friend, that's professional respect. In a business built on egos and backstage politics, Truth earned universal love from everyone he worked with. Veterans don't get that kind of reaction unless they've proven their worth in ways that go beyond what fans see on TV. Jeff Jarrett, who was there during Truth's World Championship runs, said it best. There is only one R-Truth. Give me one similar talent who's similar to R-Truth in the industry. There's not a comparison of off the top of your head. That to me equates to money. When the people grinding with you every night think you're special, but management treats you like you're replaceable, something's seriously broken upstairs. Back in the day, he had a partnership with the Road Dogg, showing real potential before getting buried in the Invasion mess. During the PG era, he developed a rapper thing and crowds were genuinely into it, but got stuck in the mid-card comedy instead of being allowed to grow. In the reality era, his conspiracy stuff was ahead of its time, but WWE bailed for safer comedy options. During the new era, he became the 24/7 king and proved he could create viral gold, but never got rewarded with anything bigger. Every single era gave WWE chances to let truth break out of this box, and every single time they picked the safe, boring option, instead of seeing what could happen if they actually tried. I mean, we can't ignore what went down in 2025, because it basically proved every argument about truth being undervalued in the most dramatic way possible. WWE let his deal run out, apparently lowballing him after 17 years of making them money. The fan meltdown was immediate and massive. We Want Truth chants hijacking their shows, social media campaigns exploding, mainstream outlets covering it. Wrestling Observer said Truth's situation became a bigger talking point than Jacob Fatu turning on Solo Sikoa, or Cody Rhodes pinning John Cena at Money in the Bank. His comeback at Money in the Bank pulled in 1.7 million views, with Instagram Reels hitting 34.2 million views and counting. But here's the moment that changed everything. Truth showing up on Raw with scissors, cutting off his own dreadlocks and declaring, "I am Ron Killings. I am the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Now put some respect on my name." That Raw segment hit 2.5 million views on YouTube. The intensity in his voice, the symbolism of cutting away the comedy character. It was like watching 15 years of frustration pour out in real time. That whole thing was basically the entire wrestling world being like, "Are you serious right now?" It proved that years of fans and writers saying truth deserved better weren't just being nice. R-Truth's whole career shows you exactly what's wrong with how WWE traditionally looks at certain performers. They make these random categories: comedy guy, serious main eventer, mid-card filler, and once you're labelled, good luck ever changing it. Truth had world championship credentials, top star entertainment value, and universal peer respect. But because he could get laughs, WWE decided that's literally all he should ever do. That's not smart talent management. That's putting artificial limits on your own roster. Look at other wrestlers who got to evolve over time. Mick Foley went from comedy legend to hardcore legend to beloved elder statesman. The Rock transformed from Rocky Maivia to comedy to serious champ to Hollywood megastar. But Truth, once he was the funny guy, that label was permanent. The sad part is how well WWE's revisionist history worked. They rewrote the narrative so completely that most fans think of him as a comedy act instead of a former world champion who could hang with literally anyone. When it's all said and done, R-Truth's WWE run represents one of the biggest what-ifs in modern wrestling. What if they'd actually built on his world championship background instead of pretending it never happened? What if they let his 2011 heel character keep developing? What if they'd seen his social media skills as something worth building around instead of just a happy accident? We got 15 plus years of great entertainment from R-Truth, but we never got to see what he could have been with real support and creative freedom. That's what really stings about this whole thing. Truth showed over and over again that he could adapt, evolve, and deliver whatever WWE threw at him. Serious heel work, comedy timing, viral content, veteran leadership. He consistently crushed expectations while getting consistently undervalued. The man broke historic barriers, generated millions of views, moved merchandise, earned universal respect, and stayed relevant through multiple character changes over 2 decades. If that doesn't earn respect in professional wrestling, then this industry has completely lost the plot on what actually matters. R-Truth never got the respect he deserved because WWE built their entire relationship with him around forgetting how talented he really was. And honestly, that says everything about them and nothing about him. With that being said, I'd love to turn the conversation over to you guys, so let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe so you can stay tuned for more wrestling content right here on WrestlingReel.